Lightning bolts cracking the sky have been commonplace in San Diego this season. The Chargers strike quickly and often here through the air. This game would begin with a 65-yard touchdown pass, not by the rifle arm of Dan Fouts, but by the rejuvenated wrist of Jim Plunkett. Folks have said that some lucky bounces this year got the Raiders here. It was time now for a very fortunate deflected pass. Raymond Chester outraced everyone with the ball that first touched the hands of Kenny King. Today's rules state that the ball may touch two offensive players in succession. A few years ago, the score would have been disallowed. History is history, and Chester's alert reception meant a 7-0 Raider lead. Charger fans rarely panic, for they know that Air Coryell is a great way to fly. The Chargers don't take the bus. They fly the SST and advance quickly through the air. On the first play from scrimmage, Fouts did just that. To be sure, the element of surprise made the 55-yard gain possible, but so did a nifty play fake to Chuck Muncie, number 46, that froze the Raider defense, allowing Ron Smith to free himself down the sideline. Smith's reception gave San Diego a first down at the Raider 28. Passing got them there, so Fouts threw once more. Clutch catches over the middle made John Jefferson an All-Pro this season. But another All-Pro, Lester Hayes, would make a statement to the Chargers. That statement, if you live by the pass, you can die by it as well. Amazingly, Hayes' interception was his 5th in the last 5 games. The Chargers were halted, but the Raiders failed to capitalize, so Dan Fouts continued to ply his craft with 9 minutes remaining in the opening championship quarter. Charlie Joyner, one of 3 Chargers to amass over 1,000 in reception yardage, got the Chargers moving. The next time Fouts hit Joyner, it tied this all-important playoff game. Joyner's reception was indeed a piece of pass-catching wizardry. He actually picked the ball blindly off the top of his own helmet in the midst of double coverage on the way to the turf. Another look reveals that Joyner's concentration and his uncanny 6th sense allowed the Chargers to quickly tie the game. A generally immobile Dan Fouts skillfully evaded the rush, and veteran Joyner did the rest. Joyner is the forgotten man in the Charger attack due to the publicity given superstars John Jefferson and Kellen Winslow. Perhaps this catch will make him a bit more recognized. One of the forgotten men in the game over the last 5 years has been Jim Plunkett. People said he couldn't throw long anymore. Jim knew better. Plunkett and speedster Cliff Branch joined their talents for a 48-yard gain, and Oakland moved towards the lead. Others said that Plunkett was a sitting duck in the pocket, and his knees were too battered to support him. Once again, the 32-year-old knew better. Plunkett's gutsy run put the Raiders up 14-7 midway through the first quarter. A quarter that so far had seen 3 touchdowns tallied in under 8 minutes of play. There was time for a fourth touchdown in the opening 15 minutes, and receiver Bob Chandler had Oakland advancing towards a 2-touchdown lead. Chandler took advantage of some rather lazy coverage, and Plunkett next sought out his tight end, Ray Chester, who caught the game's first scoring toss. Veterans Bob Chandler and Ray Chester joined with 10-year man Plunkett to sweep the Raiders downfield. Youngster Kenny King joined in with the senior threesome for black and silver touchdown number 3. The key to the play's success was the protection afforded Plunkett by the Raider line. Otherwise, King would never have completed his lengthy pass route down and across field. King's catch put the Raiders ahead by a pair of touchdowns with less than 2 minutes remaining in a seemingly endless, wide-open quarter of football. On the last play of the quarter, Fouts set out to play a little catch-up. Joyner's catch made him the reception leader in the first half with 4 catches for 88 yards. Air Coryell was back in action, but the next time Fouts and his band of flyboys were cleared for takeoff, the skies were well patrolled. Quarterback Otis McKinney was the air traffic controller responsible for grounding Kellen Winslow and the Chargers. His interception was nullified when the referee whistled Oakland offsides. Fouts had new life, and J.J. was ready. Had Jefferson caught the ball cleanly, he'd have been off to the races. But perhaps he bobbled the ball for an instant because he couldn't believe who had just thrown such a rocket. Not Fouts, but multi-talented Kellen Winslow. Jefferson had to settle for a big gain instead of a sure score. His slight miscalculation proved costly 3 plays later. Ex-New York Jet Burgess Owens picked off Fouts' second errant toss of the half. The Raiders again could not convert the turnover into points. But when Mike Thomas coughed up the ball for the Chargers' 3rd championship mistake, the Raiders took advantage. All-Pro Ted Hendricks made the alert recovery on the Charger 25, and after a costly holding penalty, Cliff Branch made a clutch catch and exhibited some nifty first down securing moves. With a 1st and goal, Mark Van Egan blew through one of the largest openings in football history. Charger faithful could feel it as they rocked Jack Murphy Stadium with their cheers. The once enormous lead was now almost gone, and Oakland knew it would have to do something quickly to regain control of the situation. The man who sparked the Raiders' revival was a familiar name, running back Kenny King. King picked up 22 important yards on the reception, then served as the decoy in a play-action fake on the next play. A toss to tight end Raymond Chester. The game set up a field goal by Chris Barr, making it 31-24 Oakland. And soon after, the Raiders were on the march again. This time it was fullback Mark Van Egan with one of his patented runs up the middle. Then it was time for Plunkett to do some scampering on his own. The usually immobile quarterback showed he could avoid trouble and did so before spotting wide receiver Bob Chandler, number 85. Shortly after this completion, the Raiders tacked on another field goal and were breathing a bit easier, 34-24. There was still plenty of time left in the game, but San Diego would have to move quickly. Number 80, Kellen Winslow, got things off to a good start. Then it was Muncie, bruised shoulder and all, trying the outside of a Raider defense now geared to stop the pass on almost every play. But the Chargers once more were halted short of a touchdown and settled for 3 points. The score was now 34-27, and the San Diego defense knew it had to get the ball back. Less than 7 minutes remained, and the one thing they could not permit was a time-consuming Raider drive. Just when it seemed that the Chargers had stopped Oakland, 10-year veteran Wilbur Young, number 99, made a costly error, jumping off sides on 3rd and long. The mistake enabled Oakland to keep their march going, and when Plunkett escaped trouble and made a crucial first down, it was all over for San Diego. The final result was a bitter pill for the potent Chargers to swallow. They had been favored to win, but despite their many strengths, they could not pull it off. They would be able to look back upon several mistakes and squandered opportunities that had brought on the final result. But they would also have to credit their bitter Raider rivals. Oakland had won 4 of their last 5 games on the road just to qualify for the playoffs and get this far. Now 1 more road game remains. But the Raiders are thrilled over the prospect, for that game is in the New Orleans Superdome. That game is against the Philadelphia Eagles for the World Championship. That game is the Super Bowl.